Welcome to Sib Spot. Today's episode comes from the subreddit ChoosingBeggars. We're going to start off today's stories with one from Halloween. Am I wrong to suggest a wealthy residence should have better candy? I was trick-or-treating with my nephew. One of the houses, $800,000 on Zillow, had a bowl of the smallest Tootsie Rolls with a sign that said, "Please take one." I don't know, it really rubs me the wrong way when wealthy people pretend to be frugal in the sight of less well-off people. Like, stop it. Stop this signaling charade. I mentioned this to my sister and she said I'm out of line and they can put out whatever candy they want. I agree they can, but they aren't above reproach in the meantime. Edit, not the big Tootsie Rolls, mind you, the small ones that are bite-sized. And edit 2, evidently no one is allowed to be disappointed and bring it up ever. You're entitled to bring it up, just like they're entitled to put whatever candy they want on their front porch. I'm just gonna say, if you're out trick-or-treating with your nephew and you're targeting houses that are above a certain value on Zillow before you go to them so that you can get better candy, you're a horrible and massively entitled person. Go to your neighborhood. You don't have to hit the rich neighborhoods and expect to get a lot. Down in the comments by India Jewel Jacks. I'm guessing he chose to trick-or-treat that neighborhood based on his Zillow research. Yeah, if you're researching it before you go there, you are a horrible person. There's parents in the world that just go out into their neighborhood and they're happy to have their kids going around to people they trust and people they know. And then there's parents who will literally pile their kids into a car and go to a richer neighborhood because they think they'll get more out of them. I honestly miss the days when Halloween was more about the neighborhood interactions. Like, in my tiny hometown, there was always somebody who had a really nice Halloween display, so you had to make it up that way for trick-or-treating. Then there was also this guy that used to give out sodas on Halloween, so we would always make our way there as well. And you kind of knew who was who in the neighborhood. There was a neighbor down the street who literally had a pair of pants stuffed with leaves, and they put the pants like upside down in a plot of dirt, so it looked like this guy was buried from his waist up and his legs were sticking out of the ground. There were all these little things you knew about your neighborhood. But these people who treat it like a donation day and try to go hit as many houses as they can, that's not cool. Our next post is by Sebastian Pineros. Free dog sitting and pay rent. Holiday sublet, 2-bedroom and bathroom with a doggo. Hi neighbors, we're going away from December 16th to January 6th and have a furnished 2-bedroom, queen bed in one and crib in another, can possibly get another bed if needed, available. Our well-behaved collie or retriever dog will also be home and needs to go for walks. But otherwise, she is happy to hang out at home or to have people over for hangouts. If you have family visiting who need a place to stay during the holidays and are good with pets, feel free to reach out to me and let me know what their budget is for accommodation. I can send pictures and more info as well. One person replied to this down in the comments, and they said, "People pay for dog sitting services, not the other way around." Am I the only one that noticed that they didn't ask for their dog to be fed at all? They just want the dog to go on walks? So that they have somebody else coming over to house sit for the dog, but they want you to take the dog for walks and then you can stay there for this 2-week period or whatever? I don't know. I have mixed feelings on this one because I think that taking the dogs for walks for a really cheap accommodation might be nice, but they didn't specify how cheap the accommodation would be. If I was going to stay someplace for 2 weeks and it was going to cost me $100 or $200 and all I had to do was walk their dog on occasion, I think I'd be okay with that. But if it's a whole lot more than that, I don't think I'd be willing to do it. I'll never forget the time that this woman that I used to work with was going to stay somewhere for 2 days and she had 2 dogs. These 2 dogs were so spoiled and well taken care of that she wanted somebody to stay overnight at the house. I was recommended by some family members to do it because I was free that weekend. And she had this nice house and she had this big, beautiful, cozy bed, and I just went there and slept for the night. Because these 2 dogs, like many dogs, get bad anxiety if they don't have somebody there for the night. So I just went there at night and slept in their bed, and I gave them a walk during the day, and she was happy with that. She just really did not want her babies to be alone at home. And some people, they are your companions. They are your children. And if you're thinking about how sad they are home alone, it can be crushing while you're gone. Our next story is by Snow Pearl. I'm assuming this choosing beggar was Garfield in a previous life. Sure, I'll take a free lasagna, but I want you to use these specific ingredients. Oh, and desserts and sides are included, right? Wait, they're not? Why not? Recently started volunteering for a program called Lasagna Love and got matched immediately. There is a 2+ month wait where I live. Contacted the recipient for a drop-off condition, and boy did I get inundated with requests. When you request a lasagna on the site, you can list dietary restrictions, vegetarian, vegan, dairy-free, etc. But otherwise it's up to the volunteer to decide what extent they want to accommodate requests. The recipient did not list any dietary restrictions, but then told me she only wanted turkey and ricotta cheese. Absolutely no substitutions are acceptable, her words verbatim, and she preferred that all the ingredients be organic. I was taken aback by her audacity, but I told her I would do my best but can't guarantee that everything will be organic. She grudgingly agreed. As a fair compromise, also her words verbatim, she asked if I could bring tiramisu as a dessert and whatever sides I want. And they don't have to even be organic. Yay me. I told her that volunteers commit to bringing a lasagna only. She demanded to know why volunteers don't provide a full meal. At this point, I'm beyond fed up. I deal with demanding people for my day job, but at least I get paid to do that. I'm volunteering for Lasagna Love, and this was supposed to be a fun hobby, not an unpaid catering gig. I told her I can contact the volunteer coordinator and put her back in the queue if she prefers that someone else prepare her food. She backtracked, shut her trap, and accepted the food. I would have been happy to make her brownies or cupcakes if she hadn't been so demanding, but I just dropped off the lasagna and decommitted from volunteering once a week to once a month. Some people are exhausting. Edit. Since some people are asking about the program, I figured I'd give a quick explanation. It's a program that was started during the pandemic with a mission to provide a lasagna free of charge to anyone who might be in need. Anyone can request the lasagna and or volunteer to make one. There is no discrimination or judgment, and you don't have to be low income or anything. Sometimes people are going through stressful life events and not necessarily caused by finances, and the program is dedicated to providing a hot meal, no strings attached, no questions asked. They give a link to the program and say, feel free to sign up, but I ask that you don't abuse the system. It's really nice when a community is trying to provide for people who are less fortunate. Lasagnas are not cheap, they're a lot of work to make. So it's really nice that they're doing this. Plus, a lasagna is a ton of food. Depending on your portion size, you could probably feed a family for a couple days on that. It's just so good. A free, hearty hot meal from people. It's just wonderful. Our next post is by Aju123. She wants a side of psychotherapy with free produce. This is a text message exchange. Hello, so-and-so. When can you pick up the pumpkin? You're welcome to come by and help yourself to one small pumpkin. Please do not take the large pumpkin, as my kid is attached to it. Our address is blank. Thanks so much. I can come by late afternoon, early evening if that works. I would never take the other pumpkin, or more than one. And that was it for about an hour. This was texted pretty close to 2 p.m. And then somebody decided to dwell on that text exchange. At 3:03 p.m. This is hard for me to write, and I definitely don't want to create any negative feelings, but I'm actually wondering if you would consider phrasing that kind of specification quite differently in the future. I really appreciate your giving to the community. It's a wonderful thing, and also understand you're trying to protect your daughter. But while a bit hard for me to share, it actually really hurt to be accused of potentially taking something that I wasn't supposed to, where it feels like I'm seen as a potential thief in a way. Not sure if you had bad experiences in the past, and I'm sorry if that happened, but it's still so important to treat others in the group with a level of trust and respect, and not assume or treat them like they might do something like that. There might be a way to phrase things in a friendlier, more trustful and respectful way. I can offer suggestions if you like. For me, the exchange through Buy Nothing is just as much about feeling trusted and respected and exchanging positive community energy as it is about giving and receiving things for free, which helps on many fronts, personal and environmental, etc. Thank you for reading and considering if you can. I know it's quite likely challenging feedback to take in. What the heck? They weren't rude to you at all. You're like over-analyzing what they said. They said you can help yourself to one small free pumpkin, but don't take the big one because my son's attached to it. My kid is attached to it. Okay, so your daughter is attached to it, not your son. But what the heck? They didn't say, please don't take more than one. They said, just, you can come by and have one small pumpkin. And they even said, please do not take the large one because my kid is bonded with it. People down in the comments were actually kind of doing their own psychoanalysis, and they wrote paragraphs and paragraphs analyzing why she would reply like this. The woman offering her pumpkins wasn't being rude at all. There's absolutely no reason she should be replying like this. And to say to her, I can offer you better ways to say what you said. No, I think if I were this person giving away these pumpkins, I'd be like, all right, so don't come get a pumpkin from me. I'm not going to be psychoanalyzed by somebody who I'm just donating a pumpkin to. Our stories for today have come to a close. Until we meet again, guys, have a wonderful day.